Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, January 18, 2023. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke has responded to alleged misappropriation of funds within specified financial institutions that has been the source of public discussion and anxiety. In recent weeks, there's been several news items involving billions of dollars in mismanaged funds at several financial institutions across the island. Speaking specifically to the alleged scheme committed at Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL, Minister Clarke has expressed shock, anger and disgust at what he termed as an alarming and evil fraud. Dr. Clarke was, however, quick to remind Jamaicans that this is not the case for all players in the financial sector.
At the same time, I have great confidence in the investigative authorities to unravel all aspects of this and bring all perpetrators to justice. At this time, it's tempting to doubt our financial institutions, but I would ask that we don't paint an entire hard-working industry with the brush of a few very dishonest individuals. Jamaica is the leading financial center in the English-speaking Caribbean, and we will do everything in our power to protect Jamaica's position in this regard.
In other news, 10 hospitals will benefit from donations of 24 handheld Butterfly IQ probe machines for ultrasound diagnostics and care of patients. The equipment, worth some $25,000 was handed over on Monday, courtesy of American Friends of Jamaica. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the tools will be used in the obstetrics units as well as accident and emergency departments.
The hospitals that will benefit, I understand, are Victoria Jubilee, Kingston Public, Cornwall, Black River, the University Hospital of the West Indies, Sablamar, St. Anne's, Maypen, Princess Margaret, Mandeville Regional, and Spanish Town. The value of the donation is really enhancing the care that we spoke about, the diagnostic care, and to safeguard the best health outcomes, which is a critical part of our mandate.
The donation forms part of a broader program to improve maternal and child care and reduce maternal and child mortality. Meanwhile, a new healthcare initiative targeting pre- and postnatal care has been launched. Dubbed Start Right, a maternal and newborn care initiative, the program will deliver services through the public health system. Start Right will provide a range of care supplies for vulnerable mothers and their newborns. With the aid of the devices, it will enable early and rapid diagnosis, such as screening for birth and heart defects, prenatal testing, and checks for pregnancy complications. Training will also be provided by the Jamaicans Abroad Helping Jamaicans at Home Jaja Foundation for the use of the portable ultrasound devices. State Minister in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, says continued focus will be placed on addressing inequalities in access to maternal and newborn healthcare services. This, she says, will include identifying and mitigating all causes of maternal morbidity and related disabilities.
Start Right brings before us a tremendous opportunity to improve our maternal health offerings. Provision of prenatal support as well as timely management and treatment can make the difference between life and death for mothers as well as their babies.
This device is truly a game changer. For example, instead of bringing patients to another department to have an ultrasound being done, this device is 100% portable and can be placed in the doctor's pocket, as I just demonstrated. And you can see here, truly streamlining patient care.
We hope that we will actually move on to phase 2. Our goal is to have these handheld devices in as many doctors' pockets as possible.
The program forms part of government's effort to reduce the maternal mortality ratio to 70 per 100,000 live births by the year 2030. Jamaica's maternal mortality rate at 2018 ranges 93.5 per 100,000 live births. Approximately 12,000 Jamaicans awaiting medical procedures under the Cuba Eye Program will start receiving treatment in the first quarter of this year. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton made the announcement during a recent tour of the ophthalmological center at St. Joseph's Hospital, where the program is administered. The Cuba Eye Program was suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
we anticipate that in the next month or so to start the process without any delays. The anticipation is that we will move quickly to try and clear up a significant backlog. The anticipation is to do 100 cases or so per week. I am told 20 cases a day.
Majority of cases are for cataract and diabetic retinopathy treatments, while a limited number of persons are awaiting surgeries for pterygium and other conditions. The 19-member Cuban medical team comprises ophthalmologists and optometrists. Jamaica is set to benefit from a COVID-19 vaccine partnership between Canada and the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO. The government of Canada has pledged 45 million Canadian dollars to increase access across Latin America and the Caribbean. The support is part of Canada's global initiative for vaccine equity, Can Give, which was launched on Friday. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says the government continues to emphasize the take-up of COVID-19 vaccines and is strengthening its overall immunization program.
These funds under the Can Give initiative is indeed timely. It provides well-needed boost to our initiatives, new energy to increase awareness, and hopefully to let Jamaicans and those in the region recognize the importance of these efforts.
Now, Canada's partnership with the Pan American Health Organization will help improve access to COVID vaccines, especially for people in vulnerable situations, including women and girls. Canada's funding will also help improve vaccine surveillance and support health workers.
And finally, the construction of an early childhood development center for innovation has been earmarked for St. James East Central. Construction of the $1.5 million institution is scheduled to begin in March and is expected to be completed in time for the start of the 2023-2024 academic year in September. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett, who made the announcement, says the school will diversify the learning experience for children in Western Jamaica. He was speaking on the weekend at a fundraising dinner in Montego Bay to mark the 25th anniversary of the East Central St. James Education Fund.
The focus for me with that innovation center is going to be on the children of the communities around this corridor primarily, this tourism corridor. And it will be for children of very challenged economic means.
Meanwhile, Education Minister Favor Williams says the ministry will assist in the development and implementation of a framework for the institution to guide its operation.
What's happening here tonight aligns perfectly well with the education transformation underway in Jamaica and the reimagining that we must do in education.
The Early Childhood Development Center for Innovation will offer teacher support and exchange programs along with parent engagement and training to 100 children between the ages of 2 and 5. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.